Hey, it's Scotty. This is Fizz. Fizz was one of the piggies that I rescued from my local shelter, and I was able to personally find a good home for him. But then about a year after that, he had to be returned to me, and I'm actually really grateful that at least he was returned to me instead of just dumped somewhere or taken to the shelter. And I did always say that I would have a place for him always, and that's still true. It's early afternoon, and my lights are out because there was a planned power outage. They're doing some maintenance work somewhere down the street. You may faintly be able to hear the sound of my generator. I've got it going to my fish tanks to keep the filters running because the power is going to be out for a couple hours. But I wanted to just make a video because this morning, or basically before noon, I had already received 2 personal surrender requests. You know, I'm not even a rescue. I volunteer with several different rescues. I try to work on behalf of various rescues and raise awareness for rescues all around the world. But I am not a rescue, and yet there's 24 piggies in my house, and many of which, who knows if I'll ever be able to find them homes. They just end up becoming part of my herd here. We got to do better, and this is, I'm begging you, if you're thinking about fostering, if you're thinking about adopting, please do it. Do it now. Add a piggy to your girl herd. Why are you so nibbly on me? This is why maybe you were surrendered. He says, well, you got no treats for me. We're in a crisis mode. This is Fizz, and who knows where he came from before the shelter. Here, hold on. This is my baby boy Bengal, and he's been here a while. How's your nose doing? A little better. It's coming to a head. He's got a little bump on his nose. Bengal was brought to the LA Guinea Pig Rescue when I was volunteering, and he was dumped. He was dumped outside of someone's apartment building, and this nice family scooped him up and brought him to us, but Saskia didn't have any space at the time, and she asked if I would foster him, and that was a couple years ago. And the rescue's been basically full and closed for intakes except for extreme emergencies ever since. And the only way that changes is if people who are buying animals on a whim from a pet store learn about guinea pigs and take better care of them, bond with them, connect with them. There's always going to be emergency situations that require some families, some people to have to surrender their animals. And that's a fact of life, and that's what rescues and shelters are for those emergencies. But the vast majority are not emergencies. They're just people who got in over their head with something that they didn't know what they were getting into, and they would prefer not to have guinea pigs anymore. And if you're one of those people that does have guinea pigs, that is skilled and knowledgeable with guinea pig care, maybe you can foster another pair with a foster-based rescue. Maybe you can adopt another pair. Nobody ever who loves guinea pigs ever said that they had enough guinea pigs or that extra guinea pigs wasn't an amazing, fun thing. I love Bengal so much. Getting to know him has been, a blessing. But as you can see here, I don't have any more space. Normally these cages are over here like this. I slid them up so that I could feed hay this morning. I got 19 guinea pigs in this room. I've got 3 guinea pigs in my bedroom, and I've got 3 guinea pigs in the living room, and those are the only rooms aside from the bathroom and the kitchen. So I'm urging you, if you ever thought about adopting, if you ever thought about fostering, I know every couple months I light up the the bat signal and ask for help. But it's just getting worse and worse, and we need to make room for the true emergencies. The two messages today, one was a really heartbreaking story, which I'd rather not say, but it was definitely a heartbreaking emergency, and the other, they didn't give a reason at all or even a location, but who knows what the situation is. The fact is, if you're willing and if you're able and you live anywhere, you can go to the shelter. You can, if you went to the shelter and adopted a pair of piggies and then put them on Guinea Pig Finder, maybe you'd be able to find a place for them. And that's what rescues are facing, is they take in these animals and then we depend on people to adopt. And it could be 3 months, 6 months. We have guinea pigs that have been living at the rescue for years. Many of them, will never get adopted. So if you look at every piggy that I have in here, they all have some insane story. Micah right there, he was left in a cardboard box on the side of the road. Onyx was left in an abandoned pet shop. Shrimp was at the shelter, and he'd been at the shelter for so long that they said they needed him out because there was going to be an influx of kittens, of feral kittens, and they didn't have space and they didn't want to make any hard decisions. It just goes on and on and on with every single one of these piggies here. So now's the time. If you can increase your herd, please consider it. It's bad when I'm getting surrender requests. Just imagine how many surrender requests these shelters and rescues are getting every day. And if you just can't, maybe there's another way that you can help. You can follow the rescues on social media. You can forward their posts. You can share what they share. Maybe you can give a donation to a local rescue near you. You can drop off supplies at the shelter near you. If you have experience, you can go to your local shelter and you can teach them what they may not know. Maybe you can bring them a bag of hay or some water bottles. I'd say go there, ask them what they need. And maybe they don't even know what they need, because many of these shelters, despite the fact that they are an animal shelter, animal control is in their name, they don't bother to learn about proper care. And if you go with a gentle touch, maybe you can teach them a little bit about best practices, or at least how to sex guinea pigs, so that if they do have babies, the problem's not multiplying. Bengal, you are the best. And if you did adopt piggies and you had to make some sacrifices, clear some space, build another cage, maybe a stackable cage, once you get to know the piggy that you're saving, you can't imagine a time without them, or what if you had said no to them. They're all very sweet. They all have such distinct personalities, and even though I'm bursting with guinea pigs here, I wouldn't trade having Bengal for the world. Look at this big boy. He gives such good hugs. Anyways, there's a worldwide rescue list on my website. There's a link down there in the description, and I really hope you'll consider it. All right, until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Bengal, you're the sweetest. You're the sweetest. You are.